We're back with a Fox News alert. 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina was shot and killed as he tried to breach security at President Trump's Florida home Mar-a-Lago. Martin was armed with 2 weapons when he came face to face with law enforcement. Secret Service says Martin was first spotted near the estate's north gate around 1:30 a.m. carrying a shotgun and a fuel can. Federal agents and a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy confronted Martin, who was killed on site after he pointed his weapon at law enforcement. Joining us is former Assistant FBI Director Chris Swecker. Welcome, Special Agent. Thank you for joining us. Showing up at the president's house with a gun and material for arson is a really good way to get shot and killed, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Trey. I mean, life is an IQ test, and he flunked on that one. Yeah, you don't go into Mar-a-Lago at 1:30 in the morning going through in the exit with a shotgun and a gas can. I mean, who knows what his real plans were, but wrong place, wrong time. Even when the president is not there, there's stepped up security at Mar-a-Lago. Anybody that's been in there knows that, and he chose the highest traffic entrance, so that's the one that's guarded the most or the most proactively. So not a good move on his part. Probably an amateur person. This guy was probably mentally disturbed. We'll find out in the long run here.
All right, Special Agent, Martin is dead, so he will not be put on trial, but that does not mean there is not an investigation. Law enforcement is going to want to find out everything they can about how and why this happened, even though there is not a trial.
Yeah, that's true. The FBI, by statute, has jurisdiction anytime there's an attempted assassination attempt on a president or vice president, and that also extends to cases like this, where even though we don't know that he was there with that intention, they are there to investigate that, and they'll do it the way we've heard about in all the other cases like this. They'll dig into all his social media, his devices, his friends, his family. They'll dissect his life. The primary goal here now, as you say, there's no prosecution to protect, but the primary goal is to just find out if he had any co-conspirators, or what motivated him, or what enabled him. Were there third-party enablers? How did he get his hands on the shotgun? What's the trigger here? And I think that we're well on our way to knowing that, because they're already at his house, and we're very early in the morning looking into all of that.
Special Agent, motives are tricky. I mean, people use the word all the time. Prosecutors don't really like that, because sane people will never understand why Martin did what he did. But still, you try to piece together a profile to protect other high-value targets in the future. So even though we may never know the motive, you're still going to look for other high-value targets.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we are seeing something of a trend here with young individuals like the would-be assassin in Butler, Mangione, just young people, whatever reason, sort of going off. I mean, they're highly vulnerable, if you will, to outside influences. They're disaffected, they're unhappy, they're maladjusted. Whatever. I'm not a behavioral scientist, but the behavioral scientists will dig into this. But it seems to be something of a trend, and you wonder how much of this, this political rhetoric, this inflammatory rhetoric, is setting off people like him. It's almost like you got these embers, and and somebody's throwing gasoline right on them, and just to stoke up the fire.
And you can add Tyler Robinson to that as well, the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Special Agent, thank you for your service to our country and for joining us on a Sunday night.
And yours as well, Trey. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.